Friends, when we talk about the king of planets, only one name comes to mind: Jupiter. It's the largest planet in our solar system, a true giant. But here's the twist. Jupiter isn't just big, it's dangerous. With inside and out, this planet is a cosmic nightmare. On the outside, Jupiter is surrounded by an invisible death trap, a massive web of radiation so powerful that even our best machines struggle to survive. On the inside, pure chaos. Lightning bolts bigger than Earth, hurricanes so massive they could swallow our entire planet, and storms that rage for centuries without stopping. Jupiter doesn't just dominate in size. It holds every cosmic record: the strongest magnetic field, the biggest storms, and yes, the largest moons in the solar system. That's why astronomers call Jupiter the king of the solar system. Even its name comes from the king of Roman gods, a title it truly lives up to. I've already made 2 episodes about Jupiter. In part 1, we explored how this monster formed and what type of planet it is. In part 2, we followed a probe that plunged straight into Jupiter's atmosphere, sending back terrifying data before being destroyed. But there's still one piece of the puzzle left: Jupiter's moons. For a long time, scientists believed these moons were just dead rocks floating in space. But as our spacecraft flew closer, what they discovered shocked the world. Lava-spewing volcanoes on one moon, hidden oceans under the ice on another. So, what's really happening on Jupiter's moons? That's what we'll uncover today, in part 3 of our Jupiter series. The story begins with the Galileo spacecraft, designed to study Jupiter and its 4 biggest moons. Back in 1610, Italian astronomer Galileo Galilei first spotted these moons with a tiny telescope. The first time humans realized that planets other than Earth could have moons. To honor that discovery, NASA named its spacecraft after him. But flying near Jupiter isn't easy. The planet's radiation belts are so lethal, they could fry a spacecraft's electronics in days. That's why the Galileo spacecraft had to orbit carefully, dipping in and out of Jupiter's deadly zones, while sneaking close to its moons for a better look. The first moon Galileo approached was Ganymede, the largest moon in the entire solar system. In fact, Ganymede is so massive that if it orbited the Sun instead of Jupiter, we'd probably call it a planet. And here's the shocker. Ganymede has its own magnetic field. No other moon in the solar system has this. Just like Earth's magnetic field shields us from the Sun's deadly solar winds, Ganymede has a protective bubble of its own. For scientists, this raised a big question. Could this moon, or others like it, be hiding the conditions for life? In fact, apart from Ganymede, no other moon has its own magnetic field. Forget a strong one, most don't even have the slightest trace of a magnetic field. If we talk about planets, even Mars and Venus, which are planets in our solar system, do not have their own magnetic fields. So for a moon to have one is quite strange. When scientists observed Ganymede's magnetic field, they could hardly believe it. Another surprising discovery about Ganymede was that beneath its crust lies an ocean. This ocean has not been seen directly, but strong evidence points to its existence. Scientists noticed that when Ganymede's magnetic field interacted with Jupiter's magnetic field, auroras appeared on Ganymede, indicating the presence of water beneath the surface. Even the Hubble telescope confirmed that beneath Ganymede lies a massive ocean, deeper than Earth's oceans by nearly 10 times. In fact, the amount of water there is so vast that if all the oceans on Earth were combined, they would still be less than the water beneath Ganymede. Well, friends, after capturing a lot of details about Ganymede, Galileo's next target was Callisto, music. After Ganymede, Galileo performed a flyby of Callisto and captured a lot of its details. Now Callisto is the second largest moon of Jupiter, almost the size of the planet Mercury. The most unique thing about Callisto is its very unusual surface. When Galileo passed near Callisto, it revealed that Callisto possesses the oldest surface in our solar system. No planet or moon observed so far has an older surface. You can guess this from the fact that Callisto has the most craters in the entire solar system. And these are not ordinary craters, because if you zoom in at a microscopic level, you'll see thousands of smaller craters inside the bigger ones. This points to the fact that Callisto has had a very violent history. For thousands, maybe even millions of years, it must have endured constant asteroid bombardments, which gave Callisto its present look. Of course, there's a lot more to say about Callisto, but we can't cover everything in this video. I'll make a separate one on Callisto. For now, that's enough. Let's move to the third moon. After flying by Callisto, next came Io music. Before Galileo, Voyager 1 and Voyager 2 had also performed flybys of Io. Voyager 1 even took many pictures. And from those, scientists initially thought Io was a dead moon. But when Galileo passed close to Io, the scene was the complete opposite. In fact, what it saw, shocked the scientists, was something they never expected. The dead moon turned out to be the most geologically active moon in the solar system, with the highest volcanic activity. Friends, Io, Jupiter's third largest moon, is slightly bigger than our own moon. When Galileo flew by Io, it found that the surface had nearly 400 active volcanoes. Never before had so many active volcanoes been seen on a planet or moon. If we call Io the hellish moon, it wouldn't be wrong. Its environment is like hell lava everywhere. Huge lava fountains, or plumes, can be seen shooting up to 500 kilometers high. Just imagine that for a second.
Oh.
Now think 9 kilometers versus 500 kilometers. Unimaginable. According to estimates, the lava on Io is hotter than the lava on Earth. This is because Io is the closest Galilean moon to Jupiter and orbits very close to it. Jupiter's immense tidal forces constantly squeeze Io from the inside, like pressing a lemon, generating enormous heat and activity. Io itself is a big topic, deserving of its own video. But for now, let's move ahead to the fourth moon. One by one, Galileo flew past Ganymede, Callisto, and Io. Now, it was time for Europa. Music, the things discovered on Europa, turned out to be the most special part of the mission. And when we talk about the most special, it's always one thing: life. Yes, friends. Because so far, the main motive of almost every space mission has been the search for life, finding another place besides Earth where life might exist. On Europa, scientists found strong evidence of life, which is why Europa became the superstar of the mission. When Galileo finally reached Europa, which is Io's neighboring moon, and also the smallest among the Galilean moons, it observed that Europa was covered with a thick sheet of ice. Well, Europa is covered with ice on the outside, but beneath that, something else, lies liquid water. Yes, friends, Galileo confirmed that under Europa's icy surface lies an ocean. When you carefully observe Europa's surface, you can see huge cracks indicating that the surface ice is not attached to the moon itself, but floating above it. Europa's icy crust is estimated to be 20 to 40 kilometers thick, and if you melt through it, beneath lies a deep ocean, containing twice as much water as all of Earth's oceans combined. Scientists believe that inside Europa's ocean, alien life forms may exist. Since Europa is sealed under ice, its ocean is protected from harmful radiation, making it a potential cradle for life. If life is discovered there, it will be the first ever evidence of extraterrestrial life beyond Earth. I'll also make a detailed video on Europa, discussing future missions, how scientists plan to melt through the ice and send robots into the ocean to uncover what's really there. Now let's move on and see what happened to the Galileo spacecraft after completing its mission. Well, friends, Galileo's ending was a little sad, because after its mission was completed, it was deliberately sent into Jupiter, where it burned up and became a permanent part of the giant planet. Galileo had reached Jupiter on December 7th, 1995, and its mission was completed on September 21st, 2003, about 8 years of service. After completion, it was sent into Jupiter, where it turned into a fireball and was destroyed. And so ended the story of the Galileo spacecraft. So, friends, in this video, we briefly discussed all the Galilean moons. But I'll be uploading separate detailed videos on each moon soon. Personally, among all these moons, I liked Io the most. Which one did you like? Let me know in the comments.